The Shenzhou 20 spacecraft is on its way and is expected to dock with the Tiangong space station soon. Foreign Ministry denies any talks with the U.S. over the tariff war and says the door is open for negotiations based on mutual respect. And Hong Kong and Zhejiang signed cooperation agreements covering trade, housing, and technology innovation. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The Shenzhou 20 spacecraft blasted off this afternoon and is expected to dock with the Tiangong space station soon. The 3 taikonauts aboard will relieve the Shenzhou 19 crew, who have been in the orbital outpost for over 6 months and will head back to Earth next week.
3、2、1，点火。
At precisely 5:17 p.m., the Shenzhou 20 spacecraft blasted off from the Zhoushan Satellite Launch Center, located in the mainland's northwest Gansu province. Carrying a 3-person crew to the Tiangong space station, the spacecraft separated from the Long March 2F rocket and entered its designated orbit, approximately 10 minutes after liftoff.
我宣布，神舟20号发射任务取得圆满成功，谢谢大家。
Engineers declared the launch a complete success, marking another milestone in China's space program. During their 6-month mission, the crew will conduct a range of tasks, including space science experiments, application tests, extravehicular activities, and cargo operations. They will replace the Shenzhou 19 crew who have been on the space station since October last year and will head back to Earth next week. Before the launch, a traditional send-off ceremony was held at the Wentian Pavilion. Leading the mission is Commander Chen Dong. This is his 3rd space flight. Joining him are first-timers Chen Zhongrui, a former Air Force pilot, and Wang Jie, an aerospace engineer. A crowd of enthusiastic supporters waved the national flags and cheered for their space heroes. Shenzhou 20 marks the 35th flight mission of the country's manned space program and the 5th crewed mission during the application and development stage of the Tiangong space station. The Foreign Ministry has confirmed that there have been no discussions with the United States over tariffs, and all talk regarding progress on the issue is fake news. The comments came after U.S. President Donald Trump suggested that senior officials from Beijing had been in contact with Washington to lay groundwork for discussions over the matter. Cheryl Yun reports.
这些都是假消息。
Foreign Ministry spokesman Guo Jiakun stated that the trade conflict was initiated by the United States and reiterated Beijing's position that China will fight to the end. While prepared to defend its interest, Beijing remains open to dialogue, but only on the basis of equality and mutual respect, Guo added. Trump, meanwhile, expressed confidence that a trade agreement between the 2 nations is imminent.
Over the next 2-3 weeks, we'll be setting the number, and we're going to pick, could be for China too, could be for China. We're dealing with almost all of them. Too many to fully deal with, but we're going to be fair to them.
Trump reiterated that he has a good relationship with President Xi Jinping, and the U.S. and China are in active discussions, claiming officials from both sides are having talks on trade issues. The White House also dismissed a report about tariff reduction for China and said it was still at 145%. But Trump indicated that he would be willing to reconsider. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent denied unilateral tariff cuts, insisting both sides must lower rates. Bessent also criticized China's economic model, warning its export-reliant growth is unsustainable. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Hong Kong has signed cooperation agreements with Zhejiang province, focusing on collaboration in diverse fields such as technology innovation, housing, trade, and youth development. Chief Executive Zhang Li, along with provincial officials, set up the Zhejiang-Hong Kong Cooperation Conference to better harness the technological advantages of both regions. Chief Executive Zhang Li held talks with Hangzhou Mayor Yao Gaoyuan before traveling to Ningbo, where he will attend an Invest Hong Kong promotional event tomorrow. Li, who is on a 4-day visit to Zhejiang, met with Provincial Party Secretary Wang Hao earlier today for setting up of the Zhejiang-Hong Kong Cooperation Conference. The two leaders witnessed the formal establishment of the Zhejiang-Hong Kong Cooperation Mechanism, signing deals covering 13 key cooperation areas and 51 projects, including technology research and development, trade investment, and artificial intelligence. The partnership will also support Zhejiang enterprises in leveraging the SAR's strengths to expand their global business operations. Li highlighted Zhejiang's economic strengths and its integration of technological innovation with industrial development. He said the collaboration would create mutual benefits by combining advantages of both regions while supporting national development priorities. Li said the two local governments would focus on collaborating in areas such as smart cities, AI, fintech, biomedicine, microelectronics, new materials, and new energy.
The Housing Authority has vowed to review and expand quotas after the city's main public housing provider received an overwhelming response for the latest round of the White Form Secondary Market Scheme. The HA drew ballots today to determine the priority sequence for those who had applied for the purchase of subsidized flats last year. Cheryl Yun reports.
The first 10 numbers drawn in this order were announced this morning. Successful buyers will use the last 2 digits of their application number to determine their flat selection order. This round of the White Form Secondary Market Scheme offers 6,000 quotas, including 1,500 reserved for young applicants under 40 through the government's youth scheme. Oversubscribed by 4.6 times, the Housing Authority has received a total of 34,000 applications, of which over 80% applied under the youth scheme. Clarissa Wong, chairwoman of the authority's Subsidized Housing Committee, clarified misconceptions as some people assumed young people were limited to just 1,500 spots.
This is not the case. They can also share the 4,500 quotas for ordinary applicants, but they have an additional 1,500 quotas, which will be shared by these young people.
Wong emphasized that demand for subsidized flats is strong among the youth, and the current arrangements offers ample opportunities for them to climb the housing ladder. As for increasing quotas, the HA will assess market response and decide in the future. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
A groundbreaking intergenerational initiative is transforming the lives of socially isolated seniors in the city by connecting them with younger volunteers through innovative activities.
The Tonghua Group of Hospitals has expanded its 3-year iCare cross-generational integration program by including elderly individuals in Shatin and Kowloon East. In partnership with the Chinese University of Hong Kong's Jockey Club School of Public Health and Primary Care, the program pairs isolated seniors with middle-aged volunteers and university students, fostering connections through home visits, group outings, and community events. A highlight of the initiative is a specially designed card game that encourages seniors to share personal stories and emotions, topics often overlooked in daily conversations.
India has closed its main border crossing with neighboring Pakistan, expelled its military diplomats, and suspended a landmark water-sharing treaty following a terrorist attack that killed 26 people in Indian-administered Kashmir yesterday.
Pakistani nationals will not be permitted to travel to India under the SAARC visa exemption scheme visas. Any SVAS visas issued in the past to Pakistani nationals are deemed cancelled. Any Pakistani national currently in India under SVAS visa has 48 hours to leave India. The Defence, Military, Naval and Air advisors in the Pakistani High Commission in New Delhi are declared persona non grata. They have a week to leave India. India will be withdrawing its own Defence, Navy and air advisors from the Indian High Commission in Islamabad.
A little-known militant outfit called the Resistance Front, supposedly fighting for the independence of Kashmir, claimed responsibility for the attack. Reports suggest that the group may be linked to Pakistan-based organization Lashkar-e-Taiba, which has been designated a terrorist group by several countries. The terrorists killed 26 men during the attack. Except for one Nepalese national, the rest were all Indians. Survivors of the attack said the terrorists specifically targeted Hindus and asked the victims their religion before shooting them.
There were long queues out St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City as mourners from around the world lined up to pay their final respects to Pope Francis. The body of the 88-year-old pontiff, who died of a stroke and cardiac arrest earlier this week, now lies in state inside the basilica ahead of his funeral on Saturday. Quentin Yang tells us more.
The body of Pope Francis was brought to St. Peter's Basilica yesterday, and since then, thousands of people have visited the church to pay their respects. Pilgrims, the faithful, and many others who considered Francis as the people's pope stood in line for more than 8 hours to pray in front of the coffin, which is placed near the altar of the confession. Over 20,000 visitors were recorded on the first day alone. Entry to the church was due to stop at midnight, but opening hours were extended to accommodate the large crowds gathered outside. Cardinals convened for a second general congregation, finalizing plans for the funeral and the conclave, during which they will vote to elect a new pope. Hong Kong's Stephen Chow, who was promoted to cardinal by Pope Francis in 2023, will join the conclave to elect the successor for Francis. U.S. President Donald Trump, along with several heads of state from Europe, are confirmed to attend the funeral. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 162 points. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar, euro 8.82, Australian dollar 4.95. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy tomorrow with occasional showers and a few squally thunderstorms. Temperatures will range between 24 and 28 degrees. It will be windy with a few showers in the following couple of days. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching and good night.